Good evening. My name is Julie Osteen, and I'm here to present my findings for this week's assignment, the Roadmap of Need in Education, and how we use the data. So the data for Stanly County. Stanly County is a rural county located right outside of the Charlotte area. We currently have 4 traditional high schools, 1 alternative school, and 1 charter school. So the health rating. Our ranking is 14th, which is actually pretty good for the overall of North Carolina. The one thing that I found a little alarming was the teen pregnancy rate. To me, for the amount of students that we have, ranked 49th. I know that's a little one step above halfway, but for me, as an educator and have lived in the county my whole life, I found that a little high. And I know that the academy is the place where a lot of those students come when they're either transitioning to homebound or coming back from having a child. They typically come back to Stanly Academy to finish out, because we do offer a fast track approach to graduation. The number of doctors, we were ranked 44th, which I saw that was pretty good. Child fatality rate, we're number 19. Yay, that's good. That is a little surprising because of the fact that we do have the lakes and a lot of areas within the county that children could get in trouble. Child food insecurities. We have local organizations and churches that help out with that. I know Stanly Academy is involved with 2 backpack programs to send food home to families within the county. Behavior and safety. Overall rankings were number 27. Juvenile delinquency ranking is 10th, and I'll talk a little bit more about behavior and safety as far as Stanly Academy goes. Short-term suspensions were ranked 74th. And for our county, I feel that that's a little high. So maybe that is something that as a county we can address. Juvenile detention admissions, DSS, child and abuse neglect, number 67. Education, overall education, we're at 52. Our graduation rate, we're at 66. So these are some of the things that as a county that we're focusing on. I know that this year has been a little bit harder than it has in the past, because we have such a large turnover within the county as far as teachers, administration, and our local school board. Right now, we are having a little bit of trouble within the county with agreements between the school board and the school system. Hopefully that will smooth out and we can see that these levels return back to what they used to be. In economics, Stanly County is not the booming county that it used to be. We used to have a lot of industry, and over the years that industry has gotten smaller and smaller, which a lot of the people that used to live here have moved elsewhere. So our local economy is not as strong as we wished it could be. Here is the graph that shows it side by side. If you would like to see this up close, I can send you the presentation and you can see that for yourself. So what? Stanly Academy, we receive students from all over the county, which that makes for a very diverse population within the school. And the data that we have for our school is a little bit different in certain areas due to the nature of the school. And Stanly Academy Learning Center has partnered with local churches to help within the need within the school. So the Public School Forum, this is something that as a staff we sat down together and looked at it. And the Public School Forum of North Carolina stated, through the research and the ideas we produce, the programs we developed and lead, the information we publish, and the partnerships we form and the citizen engagement we develop, the Public School Forum advances the cause of public education in North Carolina. And so their approach is study, inform, lead, and engage. They have 30 years of evidence-based, academically valid research and analysis. And so when I presented this to the staff, I told them to all look at it and find some things that we might could do, as a staff to better our school. So we looked at the 4 areas of their approach and the programs that they have available. And the one that we found that we thought would be the most useful for our brand new staff, because most of the staff that we have now this year have been teaching for 6 years or less. There's 2 other teachers other than myself that have been teaching more than 5 years. This is my 5th year. The other 2 teachers have only been teaching for less than 7. So we thought that the Beginning Teacher Leadership Network would be the best option for our staff. It's going to give these new teachers an outlet outside of the school and outside of the county. And as a beginning teacher, I know that I started my first year in Union County, which is one of the counties that helps a lot in the Beginning Teacher Network. And I wish that I could have went through this program when I was a beginning teacher. It's not that old of a program. I missed it by 1 year when they first started it, but I feel that this network will help our teachers get new ideas from people that are right in the same shoes as they are. Because teaching at the academy is a challenge. You face things that you wouldn't face in a traditional classroom. So as far as curriculum support, based on the roadmap, we believe that behavior and the education are the 2 main areas of needs for our school. Yes, for the county, but for our school in particular. But all the areas we feel have some room for improvement. We can always make improvements somewhere, somehow. So we said that within our school improvement and this year, our action plan, and also our dropout prevention team, dropout rates at the academy have went up within the last 2 years. We had been working so hard to get them down, but last year we saw a spike in dropouts and we were trying to wrap our brains around what happened. So that's the areas that we're going to focus using the roadmap to make improvements within the school. And what can our staff do? Enhance the dropout prevention. We're looking closely at how we can revamp our dropout program, how we can get those students back in the classrooms so that we can get those dropouts off of our records. Home support, we have talked with DSS and our local agencies at what we can do to reach out to those students. Do they need clothes? Do they need free child care? Do they need clothes? Do they need electricity? We found that one student of ours was missing school like 20 days out of the month because she had to stay at home and take care of her brothers and sisters because they didn't have heat, because they didn't have food, and they didn't want the children to get taken away. So we're working with those local agencies to see what we can do to help our students. Outreaches and community involvement. We're trying to get rid of the stigma that goes along with the academy. Many of the people in the community think the academy is just a place for where bad kids go. We're working really hard to do outreach programs through the academy, bringing people in, and our students also going out in the community to show that it's just students that need a little extra love and care. Due to the nature of our school, our students naturally get more one-on-one time with the teachers. Even though that our class sizes have grown a little bit this year, we went from having like 35 kids in the school, we bumped it up to 50. But they still get more one-on-one time than they would in their traditional high schools. And those smaller class sizes, they really do help those students. Many of the students that come to the academy have never stepped foot in a traditional high school. They came straight from middle school to the alternative school because the people at the middle school knew that they weren't ready for that step up to the high school. So they needed that smaller class sizes. And the way that the schedules are made up at the academy, we feel that helps with the dropout rate, because they do graduate faster than they would at a traditional high school if they had to get all of those credit hours. Our students can graduate with 24 credit hours as long as they have consecutively been in a high school program for 4 years. So those are some things that we're doing at the academy, where we took the data found in the roadmap and also information on the forum, and we're going to take that information and run with it. So I hope y'all all have a great evening, and thank you very much.